6th team to have achieved an undefeated season. Legendary coach R.H. Bob Peters knew his team was experienced and talented, but he never anticipated the season ending the way it did.
I can't say that I would have been surprised at having a winning season, but I never contemplated an undefeated season because it's so rare, totally rare.
Peters says the players were excellent athletes, hardworking, determined, and team-oriented. They had speed, they could score goals, and they could stop the other team from scoring. They were outstanding competitors who had great courage. An overtime victory over a low-ranked opponent crystallized the team's focus. The players themselves decided they weren't going to lose any games that season.
And we never came close to losing a game the rest of the way. No overtimes, just straight up regulation victories.
Bemidji State outscored its opponents 210-71 during a season in which its opponents came within 2 goals only 8 times. Under the leadership of captains Dre Bradley, Bob Fitzgerald, and Joel Otto, the squad set an NCAA men's hockey record for most wins by an undefeated, untied hockey team that still stands at all levels of men's hockey today.
Undefeated? It still causes me to smile a great deal and kind of chuckle because they may have done that in spite of me.
31 wins continued on to the following season and were part of another NCAA record Bemidji State still holds, 42 straight wins. Scott Monsrud led the team in goals scored with 35 and power play goals with 14. Joel Otto led the team in assists with 43 and scoring with 75 points before going on to play in the National Hockey League, competing in the Olympics, and winning a Stanley Cup. BSU All-American players include Otto, Monsrud, Bradley, Mark Liska, Dennis Gibbons, Eric Gager, Mike Alexander, and Todd Lascarbo. Honors for Most Valuable Player in the 1984 NCAA National Championship went to goaltender Galen Nagel. Captains for the 1983-84 men's hockey team were Dre Bradley, Bob Fitzgerald, and Joel Otto. We welcome the captains and BSU Hall of Fame coaching member Bob Peters to the stage. Bob Fitzgerald will accept the award on behalf of the team, and then we will introduce other team members in attendance today.
Let me start out by saying, wow, what a day. Coach, you know, Dr. Hansen talked about chasing the school bus. RH used to take us out in the darkness before dawn out into the country, drop us off and say, go ahead, boys, run 23.5 miles for me. We did that for 4 years, so that's part of the chasing the school bus, I guess. But again, what a day. And first, congratulations to all the Hall of Fame members and our fellow 2014 inductees. On behalf of the 1983-84 Beaver men's hockey team, thank you. We're truly honored and humbled to be placed among the many great athletes, coaches, and teams in the BSU Athletic Hall of Fame. To our families that are assembled here today, this day would not be possible without you. Your support and encouragement over the years, and in particular, the 1983-84 season. I need to take a moment to recognize those family, friends, and teammates not able to be here with us today. In particular, Galen, Scotty Monsrud, and Dan Pyle, who are now playing in the Big Pond in the Sky Boys. In regard to the 1983-84 team and that season, I could talk about the statistics. They talked about outscoring our opponents 210 to 71. But as we all know, the numbers, as time goes by, will fade away. We can tell stories about how the media attention grew as the season progressed. And at one point, we had reporters other than Scoop Miller from the Bemidji Pioneer covering us. Like the time when the television reporter came over from Duluth to interview our team, talk to us. If you remember, Duluth was having their own pretty great season. They had Brett Hull on that team. If I remember, that was the season they lost in 3 or 4 overtimes for the national championship. So the reporter from Duluth is talking to all of our teammates, asking them, do you think you could play with the Gophers or the Bulldogs? And we're all holding the company line, right? We're all saying, you can't make that comparison. It's Division I and Division II. They're a lot deeper. Until they got to the goal robbers. And we all know, and this is no offense to my son, one of my sons is a goal robber. They're about a half a bubble off anyway, right?
Fancy, come on.
So they get the list. They get the list. Thanks, list. Hey, thanks for setting that up for me. Mike, stop now. See, I told you. They get the list, and the reporter asks, well, do you think you can play with the Gophers or the Bulldogs? And the list goes, hell yeah, 1 game shot, we beat their asses. Or we could talk about the foundation that was laid by the previous Beaver hockey teams. Some of them are here today and are in the Hall of Fame. Because our success was truly a product of those who came before us. For they set the standard to which we would be held, and the level of accomplishment that we would try to obtain. However, the real story behind this team's success relies on the relationships that were forged that season. But not only that season, gang, but the years leading up to that. You see, what isn't told a lot of the time in there is we finished 3rd as freshmen. We finished 2nd as sophomores, 2nd as juniors. Well, pretty much we'd had enough of that shit. And we were focused. It was a very focused team. But what really came together is everything just seemed to fit. The talent was there. The determination was there. The passion. And quite frankly, you can tell by the turnout, there's 27 guys that returned out of 31 still surviving. That's phenomenal. There was a pure enjoyment of playing together. A pure enjoyment. And to steal a little bit from a skit from Saturday Night Live in my best Chicago dialect here, and as my kids say, I coach youth hockey, and the kids that I'm coaching this year have a saying, they call it FERDA. F-E-R-D-A. FERDA boys. Everything we do is FERDA boys. Guys playing hurt. It seemed like an endless parade of guys going into that training room. Just getting bandaged up, getting ready to go to war. Getting ready to go to battle. Davey Getz, my buddy since I was 4 years old in Thief River Falls. We played on the same hockey team all the way through college. He literally had to have the back of his skate cut out. So there's a big hole in the back of his skate so he could play. Guys just going to war. Being totally unselfish. Picking each other up when they're down or we stumbled. Everybody having each other's backs. Great story Galen one time told me about David Jerome. Galen had stumbled a little bit and was out of position. The play was over to the other side. Davey literally pushed him to the other side. Big time save. Everybody thought Galen made a hell of a save. Well, Jerome pushed him into it. It was things like that. This attitude and this camaraderie created some unbelievable memories, gang. Unbelievable. And I speak a lot in different situations, and this is hard today, not only representing this great group of guys, but just the memories come flooding back, when you watch the video. And that's really what it's all about. In the end, it's all about the memories, the relationships, and as RH always told us, champions walk together forever. So once again, on behalf of the 1983-84 Beaver men's hockey team, thank you so much for this incredible honor.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the members of the 83-84 men's hockey team. Please hold your applause until the entire team is up here on stage. Mike Alexander. Robin Anderson. Jeff Arf. Keith Dolan, Todd Donaldson, Eric Gager, David Getz, Dennis Gibbons, Del Gregory, Wendell Jellison, Dave Jerome, David Youngworth, Dan Kimball, Bob Koschuk, Mark Lascarbo, Buck Lascarbo, Todd Lascarbo, Mark Liska, Jim Martin, Scott Norland, James Rue, Derek Wagner, as has already been mentioned, there are 3 members of the team who are no longer with us: Scott Monsrud, Galen Nagel, and Dan Pyle. At this time, Eric Monsrud will now come forward and accept his brother Scott's award. Arlen Nagel will come forward and accept his brother Galen's award. And Neil Holstrom will come forward to accept the award for Dan Pyle. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1983-84 men's hockey
Hi, Coach.
I knew there were a lot of guys going to be coming up here, but I got to admit, that's a little surprise. We have another team to honor today, and that